On this episode of JayRiding, we are in the luxurious Lexus RC 300. It's got a 3.5 liter V6 engine putting out 260 horsepower, 236 pound-feet of torque, all through a 6-speed automatic transmission, and this car is an absolute dream to drive. And bonus marks, it came with the F Sport package, which gives you a 10.3-inch display screen, all sorts of active safety features. It gives you a powered moonroof, and best of all, it gives you cooled seats, which definitely come in handy in the summer. My guest is going to be Matt Zaddy, one of Mississauga's most hardworking musicians. He does open mics all the time, and he helps foster the music community and encourages others just to kind of get out there and do their thing. And tune in to find out what we talk about, the good times, the bad times, and maybe some dad jokes in between. I saw your tweet from a few days ago that's saying this cooler weather is time to re-rock the plaid shirts.
Oh man,
and he's
right
got
here,
one.
totally got my plaid. This is actually the one I wore on Sunday, and may I say, I'm loving this shirt.
Excellent.
Yeah, I bought this on the Bruce Peninsula. I'm gonna wear it here so you can all see how much I like my plaid. It's very nice.
I presume you have more than one plaid shirt. As a boy from the 90s.
I have all of the plaid. I've had this joke with a lot of people where it's like I look at a photo of me when I was 12 and I was wearing a plaid shirt. Funny thing, because I have always been that very red-faced child. Both of my parents, my dad tends to flush. My mom is Irish, so it's there automatically.
Right.
So I always had a really kind of rosy cheeks growing up. And then I could grow a beard. It took me till I was 30, by the way, to grow one that didn't look like a rat's mess on my face.
Really?
Till I was 30.
30?
30. And now?
Now you can't stop.
No, I can't stop, won't stop.
Love it.
See?
Do you remember that episode from The Simpsons where Homer enters that chili eating contest? And
Find your soulmate, Homer. Wait a minute, dogs don't talk. Damn right.
And what was the thing that Wiggum said? It's grown from the deepest, darkest jungle in
a Guatemalan insane asylum.
That's it.
Yeah, I remember Homer's giant trip from the pepper. He coated his tongue in wax.
Ironic.
Don't quit your day job, Chief. Whatever that is.
And the irony there is that Wiggum was the one that gave him the pepper, but Wiggum's kid, Ralphie, is the one that saved him. Mm-hmm. Sideways to get to the path, but... Yeah. So previously you'd mentioned to me that you've experienced a vast amount of professional rejection.
Oh yeah.
So if you could kind of walk us through kind of what you were doing, what led to the rejection, and most importantly, how it's turned into a life lesson and how you flip that into a positive. Sure.
Most of the time, my experience in doing something creative has been that not everybody's going to like it.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
And that happens. You know, it is what it is. And if you are good at what you do, and you work at it, and you really work to hone your craft, you will find your audience.
Right.
But along the way, you may experience a whole lot of no's. My first major experience with that was in my 20s. I was in a metal band called Starring Janet Leigh, and we did some recording of what I thought were reasonably good recordings. Mm-hmm. So we put together these really fancy-looking, well-designed press kits. I had a graphic designer in the band, whether it was Andy or an illustrator, and we sent out 100 press kits. 100 to 100 different independent record labels across the world. And we heard back, guess how many?
10. Because there's that 90-10 ratio, right? Like, send out 100 phone calls and you might get 10 back.
Yeah, 10% is kind of average. We heard back from 3. They were all no's. So 97 of them didn't even bother to send us stuff. Now you have to understand, in this industry, they get inundated with stuff.
Right.
But 3 out of the 100 decided to respond and said no thanks. So basically we got 97 no responses and 3 no's. And that was where it first kind of hit me that I said, okay, if this is what it's going to take, then I better just learn how to deal with it.
What prevented you from throwing in the proverbial towel?
A combination of things. Passion is a big thing.
Good.
I really, truly feel that if I were to assign a purpose to my life based on what I do well, what I enjoy doing, and what I've seen that I can make a positive impact with is music. matters to me. I've had a few points in my life where it was very clearly the absolute correct thing for me.
How do you specifically practice?
Not as much as I should.
But when you do,
when I do,
is it scales? Is it songwriting? Is it covers? Because
sometimes when I work on things, I'm working on things for a very specific end, means to an end. Like I do a lot of private performing too, so sometimes I have to learn very specific things for very specific reasons. Like if I'm playing a wedding and somebody wants me to play, you know, Ed Sheeran's Perfect, well then I'm going to learn it. All that being said, I actually do really enjoy playing that song now. Nice. I think I got to play it again this Saturday.
Oh boy, very nice.
So
now, how does that differ from? And some of you may know this, some of you may not. I'm just going to play the obvious card. So Matt runs a bunch of open mics throughout the city, throughout the week, and he does have that. I'm talking like you're not even here. My friend Matt Zaddy, who's not here, we're talking to the third person. So every Tuesday at Cucullin in Streetsville, I think you've said the past, what, 7 or 8 years? 7 years, yeah, since 2011 I've been hosting at Cook, so now we're talking 7.5 years I've been hosting an open mic there every single Tuesday. Which is awesome, and use it every, I don't remember the actual day, but you also do
I do on the first Thursday of every month. I do one at Falcha, and now for the remainder of the 3 months of the year, we're going to be doing, we tried it a couple of times in the summer, doing 2 a month, and it was successful.
Good.
So the rest of the year, we're doing 2 a month, so on first and third Thursdays.
So how does that, how does the prep for your open mic differ from the prep that you do for yourself?
Well, sometimes with open mics, it's a combination of things, because I join a lot of performers, and sometimes they ask me to learn songs.
Right.
And I do my best to, you know, to accommodate that, because I really value these open mics as a means to work on your performance chops. That they're great networking for local musicians, and they've become a staple in our music community here. Like, they matter.
Right.
So I try to do that. In terms of the prep work for the artistic end of it, I use those open mics like the same way my jammers do, to try out new material.
It shouldn't be. Is it more important to use open mics as a networking tool or as a platform to showcase new and existing music?
I'd say it depends. I have been very good about networking in my local community in order to be able to meet other musicians and get work, you know, around here.
Right.
But if you think about yourself as a, you know, we're in a digital world. You know, if you're trying to get your music out there to the world, honing your skills to be able to perform better so that you can put that online are of value.
Right.
So it's both. The importance really just depends on what your end goals are.
We see all over social media and in the bars and in festivals, there's conservatively saying, I think there are 1,000 people in their basement, in their garage, in their bedroom, trying to figure themselves out.
Yeah.
What's your advice to the up-and-coming generation of musicians? Not necessarily to mirror what you've done, but just to find a way out of their comfort zone and get out into the public and play and have their music and talents heard.
You should be working on your craft regularly. You need to make time to be creative. You need to be open to criticism, because there are things that people will say which you will not like to hear, but you should hear in order to get better. Like, take for example, when you work with a producer, they will push you to be better than you are, or they're not doing their job.
Right.
And you may not like everything that they have to say, and you may not agree on everything, but you want to work with people that help you be the best that you can be. Now, some people want to do it all themselves, and that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of learning. If you have all the time in the world and all the resources in the world to do it with, by all means, but I don't recommend that. Work with people who want to work with you. Try to work with people who will help you be the best you can be musically. I mean, obviously, I think that's a good philosophy in life. Work with people that will help you be the best the best version of you can be in general, like who you associate with, all of that. So you want to work hard, but you want to work smart.
Right.
Learn not just the best things about your craft, but learn about the industry that you're in. You need to take the time to understand this, because a lot of people don't want to get into the business end of things.
Is it because they're afraid, it's intimidating, or just like, I'm an artist and that's all?
I'm an artist, I don't want to be a salesman. Sorry, I'm both. I have to be.
You have to be.
Like, I have booked myself 200 dates a year for the last 5 years with little to no representation. Really? Yeah. Like, I have now, for the first time in my life, a handful of guys that kind of piecemeal throw me work, but I still book the majority of all my dates by myself.
Really?
And I'm not saying that I even want that. I'm just saying that until I'm working with the right person who will, you know, help me do that, I'm going to do it. Because my career doesn't stop because I haven't met that person.
Right. And you have to keep going. And
like,
it's true in any industry.
Exactly. Right? Like, it's one of those things that, you know, until I can find somebody who can do it and do it better than me, I'm going to do it myself. And that's just how it has to be. You need perseverance in this. You most definitely need perseverance, because you will get a lot more no's than you will get yeses. But we used this analogy last time. What are the really good stats for baseball players at bat?
If you're successful, you have 300 batting average.
You got a 300 batting average.
You're a millionaire.
You're a millionaire.
You're set long-term
That's
contract.
1 out of 3. Now, like right now, I probably, with most of my stuff locally at this point, I have a good reputation. I can get lots of work, but I'm always trying to get to a higher level. And anytime you're trying to graduate to a higher level, you will run into adversity. Mm-hmm. You will run into a lot of no's. You will run into a lot of obstacles. Yeah. You need to be able to overcome them.
Yeah, and it's not always, you know, I don't like Matt Zaddy, I'm not going to hire him, I'm not going to book him, I'm not going to see him. It could be a million other reasons.
Most of the time, the no's that I've had have been not right now.
And that's it. And
timing is a very, very crucial thing with a lot of this, and you may not be somebody's perfect choice right now, but you might be somebody's choice a year or two, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And if you want this to be your life, you want this to be your career, you got to think longer than the next show.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you know, when you put yourself out there to perform, this is the world of recordings. Everybody gets recorded all the time. You want to be the best that you can be every night. Nobody's perfect, but you want to strive for excellence, for lack of a better term. Be the best performer you can be. I mean, I try to apply these to more than just music. Like, I try to apply this to life in general.
Right.
One of the things that I really tried to focus on myself is to be the best version of myself that I can be. That's kind of the theme of the next record that I'm putting out, is me. And this does not mean leaps and bounds and jumping over buildings. This is day to day. This is be considerate, be kind, be adventurous,
be courteous,
be honest. Be honest to who you are, to what you really care about, what are your priorities, and live that life. And that's the best way I can put it. That's like when I'm looking at the songs that are going to be in my next record, most of them are the lessons that I've learned along the way to help me be that person, to be the best Matt Zaddy that I can be.
Wow.
Cool.
How do you follow? All right. Jokes.
We getting into knee slap territory? Straight up hashtag dad jokes.
Not a dad. Not a dad. I guess you're a cat dad.
Not right now, but I will be again soon.
That a boy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, working on it. Working on it.
We're gonna see how many you get. These you get through.
Oh, I'm gonna get like
without laughing.
Oh.
All right.
Go.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
An interrupting cow.
Moo.
Do you get it? Because like, okay. Do you want to hear?
Hold on a second.
You want to hear a Nirvana joke?
Sure.
Never mind. Did you know the shovel was a groundbreaking invention?
All right. I am totally into dad jokes. This isn't fair.
I gave all my dead batteries away yesterday. Free of charge. I think there are tears.
Give me a second. I'm using that one tonight while tuning my guitars at Collins. It's gonna happen.
Matt.
Yes.
What's 5Q plus 5Q?
Please tell me.
5Q plus 5Q is
10Q squared.
You're welcome. 10Q.
10Q.
It's a hit or miss.
I was like, 5Q plus 5Q? Is it 5 to the power of Q? That's what's going through my head, literally. I'm like, oh, jeez. Is this some formula? Bad at the dad jokes, but I'm good to laugh at them.
We did this last time because we had audio issues and we had to redo it. Why did the salad go to the recording studio?
I forget, and I'm curious.
To get some fresh beats.
All right, well done. You didn't hold through any of them, and that's pretty awesome. Because you laugh, you music, you cat, and you music some more.
Oh my goodness. All of the dad jokes all of the time. This is great.